Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of What is in Our Stand today. That's a hashtag you can follow, hashtag What is in Our Stand today. So today I want to show you how bad something can get, and please take care of your bikes a lot better than this. Okay. This is a Cannondale that was specially painted for a team I used to belong to called Swamis. There it is there. And gentleman came to me saying, hey, my front shifting is really sluggish and it's really hard to make the shift. So can you please take a look at that? And then he said, the rear is very sloppy. And, it doesn't feel as crisp as it used to. I said, okay. I take a measurement of his chain. It is completely worn out. And then I've already tightened it, but his rear derailleur hanger was loose. So the rear derailleur was allowed to move. And of course, these things, when they're adjusted properly, it's moving from cog to cog. If it's off by a millimeter or two, you're going to hear some of that rasping. You're going to hear some noise. It's not going to be as quiet, but it could also just completely affect the shifting so much that it's, sloppy or ineffective completely. But when I started to work on his front derailleur cable, I noticed that every time I pushed on the shifter, it'd just be really hard to get it to go to the big ring. And then when I'd click it, to have it go back to the little ring, which, by the way, in case you don't know, derailleurs work under tension. So every time you click a gear for it to move up the cassette towards your bigger cogs, that is a mechanical action. It is being pulled by your shifter. Same thing for the big ring and little ring. To go up to the big ring, there's a mechanical action for it to pull it there. But when you want to go to your little ring or little cogs, the front derailleur, rear derailleur, they just release. And they just release. So there's nothing pulling it in the other direction. So just to recap, you pull up towards your climbing cogs, you pull up towards your big ring, but the cable releases as it goes to the little ring or to the smaller cogs in the back. So it would take an inordinate amount of pressure to make it go up to the big ring. And then when I'd click it, when it's just supposed to relax and go to the little ring, it was just either it didn't go or it would take a while. So as I was pulling the cable out, it was very, very hard to get the cable out of here. So Mr. Cameraman, focus here because I want to show the viewing public. Come this way, sir. Yep, and focus right in here. Now, this is where the front derailleur cable is going to come up as it's coming up from the bottom of the bottom bracket and then coming up to mount and get anchored here. Okay, so when I started to pull this cable out, and by the way, I've seen this before, so I knew what was going to happen. This inside here is so impacted with sand and stuff that when I pulled the cable out, if you think about being at the beach and you're making a hole in the sand and the sand just keeps falling back in, well, that's what this is now. When I pulled that front derailleur cable out, all the sand just filled back in. So all the sand just filled that hole because now the cable has been removed. And, well, nature abhors a vacuum. So everything just filled back in. Now, Mr. Cameraman, please focus down here. So this is the cable guide. And I've started to loosen this and then realize I better shoot a video of this. So watch as I pull this out. Look at all the dirt that's impacted right here on this cable guide. See that? So I'm going to move this just so you could see it. See all of that? Now, that is what's causing his shifting problems. This is just completely stuck in here. And I'm going to use this guy. So hopefully there's enough light so you can see all the stuff that's in here. And can you look in there, hopefully? Look, I can't get this in here. So maybe push it out this way. I don't know. All right, so there's that. But there's also, let's see if I can push this through. There, finally got it through. Look at that. That was just perfectly packed in to this cable guide, right? And that's just dirt. I can just mash it now and you can see it's just an accumulation of dirt. Okay? So there's that. Now, the next thing is going to be trying to push this other dirt that might be stuck in there to come out the other end. So we go from one end, push, and then the other end push. Now this is going to take a long time, and I'm going to pour some water in there, and then use my air compressor as well. But this is going to take quite a bit of time to get this out, because look, if I can't push a spoke through there, then I definitely am not going to be able to push a cable through there. All right, that's all for today. But the lesson here is, please clean your bikes. You're having a shifting